of course, the organization has a bunch of uncertainty, but this is the type of uncertainty that everyone would wish for. A Super Bowl caliber quarterback that continues to win up until last season, a team that continues to win, and a Hall of Famer. This is the type of guy, the best quarterback ever. This is the type of uncertainty every team would like to have. But here's the deal. The team is always going to do what's in their best interest. They're always going to do and say, for the future, we're going to do the right thing. The Pats continue to adjust to different circumstances, and I think that Tom Brady is going to try to do what's best for him. He's going to try to play till he's 45. Now the organization should try to do what's best for them. That means drafting a quarterback, allowing him to play underneath and learn from Tom Brady for 2, 3, however long Tom Brady wants to play, and then allow him to graduate to be the starter, similar to what happened to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre in Green Bay. This happens across the league a bunch, and those quarterbacks that learn from veterans that continue to lead and continue to show you how to play, those are better quarterbacks when they have the opportunity to play.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in New England and what they do and everything, but I have no confidence they'll get this right because NFL history tells us that they won't get it right. Teams have not done this. Let me tell you, there's a couple of franchises. A couple of my buddies, Dan Marino, they're still trying to find his replacement. Buffalo Bills, my man, Jim Kelly. They still trying to find his replacement. We can only go through the last 40, 50 years in NFL and find out 2 spots where they were able to find it. And in doing that, they made the Hall of Famer upset and sent him packing sooner than he wanted. Then that was Joe Montana, what they did in San Francisco with my man Steve Young. He replaced him, Hall of Famer replacing Hall of Famer. Joe was pissed. He went to Kansas City, still played some football, almost took them to the Super Bowl. Brett Favre, you coming? Ed Warder following him out. You going to play? No. Aaron Rodgers, you got to go, man. Another Hall of Famer. So what I've seen is teams don't do well at this. The Patriots do have the picks, and what they typically do, and what I think is going to happen is that Josh Rosen is going to end up in New England. Because how they do, they make your mistakes, they capitalize on them. And if they don't, if they decide that he's not the quarterback of their future and they trade him for a second-round pick, New England should be ready to pounce on it with all the types of picks that they can combine to be able to get up there to be able to get him. So this is something NFL teams do not do well at it. So New England, if they were to struggle with it, wouldn't surprise me.
And I think it's going to be very difficult for the Cardinals to get a first-round pick for Rosen. Does Washington give up the 15th pick? Are the Giants going to give up the 17th pick they got for Odell? I think most teams, the Giants, would they give up the 37th? I think so. Which is why I think New England holds the trump card of, we'll give you the 32nd. That is a first-round pick. And by the way, the difference between 32nd pick and 33rd pick is enormous because first-round picks come with that 5th-year option. It's not a 4-year contract on a player. It's a 5-year contract on a player. I think he's going to end up there as well. And your point that teams that we think of, oh, yeah, Montana to Young and Rodgers or Favre to Rodgers, and the Manning to Luck's a little different because they had to bottom out in a year when he was injured. That was an outlier situation. How long did the Steelers try to replace Terry Bradshaw? Oh, 30 years before they got Big Ben. My hometown Chiefs, they rated 40 to replace Lynn Dawson. They just finally did it with Patrick Mahomes, unless we're counting.
He's only had 1 season. You can't count him there.
Okay, well, I think they replaced him.
Coach Mangini said
right. There's a lot of teams that, in the history of their franchise, they got one of these guys.
Yes.
The Jets, Joe Namath, and he won Super Bowl III.
They hope they just got it with Darnold.
And maybe they got it with Darnold. So the Pats thought they had this with Jimmy G. Yeah. And Brady just outlasted him. They had a plan. They had a Favre to Rodgers succession. We're going to draft a quarterback when we don't need a quarterback because in 2 or 3 years we think we will. Now, Favre's play had tailed off a bit. They forced him. I'm retiring, I'm not. They were able to force him out the door. Brady has just gotten better and better when Garoppolo was there, so they obviously had to stick with him, which is why the whole league should be frustrated if they end up being able to go to Rosen. Rosen's going to make $800,000 each of the next 3 years and to sit behind Brady, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 years.
Coach Mangini told me this last week. He said the one thing that New England does better than anyone else in the league is when a player gets a little bit older or they want more money, they're ruthless in saying, you're out. They have to have that same type of mentality to approach this situation. You have to say, listen, and I know Tom Brady is the best thing since sliced bread, especially in New England. However, we have an organization to run after you leave. When you're 45, if you retire at that point, if we can get Josh Rosen, if we can get one of these younger quarterbacks to help groom him, to help that transition and smooth it out, then you'll be much better off. And that's what the organization has to do. Lastly, the Patriots have always been more successful after criticism in the offseason. When Tom Brady, the deflate gate, all the different things in the offseason, they come back stronger. I think this is another situation where this team, they lose Gronk. That's some criticism there, some different things going on, adversity. This team comes back stronger, I think, next year.
All right, we keep throwing Josh Rosen out there. Let's just talk about, answer this for me, because I don't know. Is he a good fit? Is he a good fit with Belichick? Do you think he can play well under those conditions? I mean, he's a warm weather guy. Would he be a good fit in New England in that system with the Patriots?
I am concerned about the conditions as far as him playing in New England, because you have to play a style of football late in the season where they have been successful. But what you look for, and what I've learned through Coach Mangini and others that have been associated with Belichick, is you look for traits. Is he accurate? Is he a leader? All those types of things. And then you try to work around it. There are no perfect prospects. But with New England, those are the things. Is he as good a prospect as Jimmy Garoppolo? I would believe so. So I would believe so, and I believe that they have enough confidence in Josh McDaniel that he would be able to bring out the best football in him.
And take weather outside of it. See, what was your biggest concern about Rosen coming into the league? His ability to withstand what?
The pounding.
The pounding. And what does New England do better than any team in the league?
I mean, they're going to protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so the element of that he is not going to be, if he were to be there, hey, drop back 40 times, 7-step drops, and get the snot beat out of you, that's not the way New England does things.
The other thing that New England established last year was a run game. They got Sony Michel going, getting him 20 carries. You see the decline of Tom Brady just a little bit. That run game has helped him out an awful lot. I think you continue that even if they get Josh Rosen and anyone else.
Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.